Welcome back to Man Down Sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James are going to be the topic of discussion. And man, you know what, man? I feel bad for LeBron James. Because it's one thing I'm noticing now. One thing I'm noticing now, and I gotta admit this. LeBron James is low hanging fruit when it comes to content creation around the NBA community. He's definitely low hanging fruit, and even his friends be getting into it, man. Like I always wondered, like, dang man, how come Wade and Melo seem to, whenever there's a hot topic surrounding LeBron, how come they seem to capitalize on it on their platforms? And I think it's the same thing that ESPN knows, man. If you say LeBron James' name, people's gonna click and listen to it and all that stuff, man. So for that reason, I kind of feel bad for LeBron a little bit, man. But I think LeBron knows that. I think LeBron knows it's a double-edged sword, and his agent knows it as well. And I think they think no press is bad press. As long as you getting press. So as long as you saying my name and you talking about me, I think LeBron, he just takes the bad with the good. And I think the only time he really get annoyed by is for the reason why he confronted Stephen A. Smith. I think he don't want it to extend to his family, and that's understandable. But I think he all for it, and that's why because I just seen D Wade call a game that they played against. Did they play against Chicago? I think the Lakers played against Chicago. And I think they was in Chicago. And D Wade called that game, and so he was on the sideline. And during a inbounds play or maybe a timeout, LeBron James went over to the scores table, and him and D Wade had a exchange, and you could tell they still are acquaintances or friends. I don't know how close they are now, but you could tell ain't nothing changed. We probably ain't talked in a while, but like that's my brother. Like you could tell. And you kind of wonder, like, man, as much as D Wade has said things, he done been on his show saying that Michael Jordan is his GOAT, and putting out information about how that big three joined in Miami and how it was kind of spearheaded by them wanting to catch Kobe in the ring count and all these things, and like he's putting a lot of information out there that we wouldn't know if he didn't put it out there. And same with Carmelo. Like he's commenting on so many things that's going on around LeBron. You wonder, like, are they still friends? Like, are they still friends? Like when Melo had CP3 on and he was telling him how Melo was supposed to be part of that original big three. I don't think it was supposed to be in Bosch. And then he said at some point they still tried to bring Melo on and have all four of them. And CP3 talked about how he was supposed to be the fourth one as well. Like, so when they put information out like that, they know people are going to grab that and be like, dang, this dude tried to create a super duper team. Right. And his friends are putting that information out there. So I always wonder, do they still talk? Is LeBron pissed off that they're saying certain things and all of that stuff? And it just clicked today. They just playing the content game. Now they're saying truths, but the fact that they jump on it as soon as they can jump on it, I'm like, man, they know what they're doing. So this one's no different. Rich Paul said what he said about trading Austin Reeves, and LeBron commented and said, Rich Paul don't speak for me. He's his own man, and everybody had comments about it. And so that went that cycle through the through the media and through YouTube and social media. And then Kevin Garnett said the thing about the All-Star about LeBron ruining it. So then we hear Melo jump on that, and he pretty much confirmed, yeah, he did ruin it. Now, the way Melo did it is almost like he's trying to talk about it and come to the defense of LeBron. And that was like one of the worst defenses ever. You get what I'm saying? It was like, it was like when your friend, he's bothering somebody and he started the fight, But as his friend, you got to kind of back him up. But then you just like, hey man, it's one-on-one, do your thing. But you know your friend about to get whooped. Hey, it's one-on-one, man. I'm out of it. You know, that's the kind of help Melo just gave LeBron. He just gave him the type of help that you don't want. so the help made it worse. Put it that way. So let's play what he said.
KG says something. I see him say like Bron the All-Star game up.
With the Kobe Bryant one-on-one where he smacked the floor.
He's only saying that because at that moment of what we know and how we looked at the All-Star game was like the stars rise to the occasion. And this is all stars, but now you have the star of the stars that's rising to the occasion that we just know that this is what everybody wants. We have to give this to them. My first All-Star game experience was 03-04 as a rookie. So it was a rookie All-Star game, right? And we played against the sophomore. I think at the time it was like Amari Stoudemire, Boozer. We playing against those guys as rookies. So we thinking that we the hot, rookies. We got the first game. As you go through the weekend, you realize the energy gets different on Saturday for Saturday activities. Then Sunday coming, it's a whole nother energy that you can't even fathom. You see it getting ready. You in the locker rooms. You seeing the All-Star jerseys, how serious they taking it. Now everybody in cahoots because it's almost like a wrestling match. It's like, all right, look. First 3 quarters.
Let me get my off.
Everybody on the same page. Everybody on the same page, though. First 3 quarters.
Let's put on the show.
Let's go have some fun. Fourth quarter come. We all agree that we get into it. That's what we came up underneath. That's the information that was passed down to us. So when he didn't do that, people started looking at it like, oh, like, I bet. We going to do it our way at this point. Oh, Bron the All-Star game up. Oh, Bron the dunk contest up because Bron ain't never been in the dunk contest.
I know why.
Bron the three-point contest up. He going to get blamed for every single thing. But that was a pivotal moment for him to keep that energy going in the All-Star game, especially when it's challenged like that. It's challenge. It's a fun challenge though because we all know that he want this moment.
You said the word right
and
there.
We all know that we want you to have this moment with him. We want you to have this moment. This is why I say that y'all. We all rising to the occasion, but now this is what we all want to see here. Like, go ahead. If it was somebody else, nobody would be saying anything about it.
All right. So you heard, and he's right. That was the unspoken rule. You would see that they understood the assignment. From the time I've been watching All-Star games, I probably say in the early 90s. I don't think I watched live any 80s All-Star games. Have I went back and found them on YouTube and watched them? Yeah, but that's a different feel than actually being engulfed in the community, in the basketball community or the NBA community, and being engulfed in it. Because, like, think about how you engulfed in the league right now. Everything that's going on. Like, all the conversations that's been on ESPN this entire year. You've heard all the narratives. You know all the people that's involved, who's writing the stories and pushing out certain ideas and narratives. Like, you're watching the game, so you really got a good feel of this league, right? So that's different when you watch games when you're living in it versus someone, let's say 15 years from now, that'll pull up one of the games that happened today on YouTube and watch it. You're not going to understand everything. You get what I'm saying? Like, you just not. Right. So all the storylines, like Jokic being hurt, like you just can't make up for all of that. So I say all that to say this. I've seen All-Star games before my time, but I didn't start like actually watching them and being engulfed in the entire league into like the 90s. So from everything I've seen in the All-Star games, they come out. They know that the people are coming to watch them play. They understand one thing. They understand that the people that's there for the fans to actually come and enjoy, it's certain things they got to do to put on the show. Like, if we like to see Michael Jordan dunk, Michael Jordan make sure, hey, I'm not gonna come down and lay up when I got a chance to dunk. I'm gonna try to get my dunks. I'm gonna try to do what I do. Shaq, I'm gonna try to dunk on people. That's what people know me for, right? 3-point shooters go try to shoot 3-pointers. You know what I mean? That's that you gotta put it on the show. But then the competitive edge, just like Carmelo was explaining, the competitive edge kick in second half, like toward the end of the third, especially in the fourth, because now we're trying to win. So whoever the East and the West coach is, hey, we know we got the starters out there. These are the people the fans wanted to see. So I know I got to let my starters play some minutes, even if I have a bona fide superstar on the bench. My starters got to get those minutes because that's who the fans voted for, and that's who they paid to see. Right? So those starters go get those minutes. You're going to bring some people off the bench in that first quarter. So we're going to try to see at least everyone in that first quarter. At least see 2 different teams. If you got 12 people, you want to see at least 10 of them, and then maybe the 2 that you didn't play, you see them early in the second quarter, right? That's what you're going to do. You're going to try to make sure you see everyone in the first half. Third quarter, you can do your thing. But fourth quarter, the guys who started that game is probably going to end that game unless you're like a veteran that got like a bad back like Larry Bird. Then, yeah, you'll sit down and watch and enjoy the show, and we'll have somebody else out there finishing the game, and it gets very competitive. And when it gets very competitive, they're trying to win. And to keep that tradition carried on, you need that mentality from whoever the leader is, whoever the face of the league is. And before Michael Jordan, that was the attitude. Michael Jordan took that attitude. He wanted to win. And that got passed down to the guys that was after Michael Jordan, including, Ray Allen, Strawberry, Iverson, Vince, Garnett, Duncan, Kobe, Shaq. Like, these guys carried that tradition on. And what Kevin Garnett is saying is that it was supposed to get passed down from Kobe to LeBron, and LeBron stopped it when Kobe challenged him, and LeBron didn't accept the challenge. And that was a message. That was a clear message being sent at that time. I'm different, right? I'm different, and I don't even know if LeBron was rejecting it because he wanted to lead in a different way. I think he was really rejecting it because he didn't want to fail at that moment on that big stage. Like, you just called me to the stage, and you're Kobe, and we all look up to you. You just called me to the stage, and he already said one-on-one is not even real basketball. That is not his game, and it's an all-star game, and we're not running any of the sets that you run in Cleveland where you can drive and kick to a shooter like Damon Jones or Big Z or anybody, or Boobie Gibson. No, you're not doing this. Nobody's going to bail you out. You have to take Kobe one-on-one because that's what Kobe wants, and that's what he would do to you. You have to score and go get your own bucket. And he was like, this ain't my game, and I don't want to do this on this big stage and fail and embarrass myself. So he passed the ball. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. And everyone was like, what in the world just happened? So that's what Melo was talking about. He's saying, yeah, at that moment, he was supposed to step up to the plate. He was supposed to accept the challenge. And by not doing that, it kind of killed the spirit that was supposed to be passed on from player to player or era to era. Right. So, yeah, symbolically, yeah, I think it's some truth to that. That, the All-Star game kind of died. Right. The All-Star game kind of died on LeBron's watch. Dunk contest died on LeBron's watch. So, yeah, Melo didn't do him no favors at all. Melo seemed like he was trying to help him at first. He was like, man, everything will get blamed on LeBron. But there was a pivotal moment. Yeah, it was a pivotal moment. Very pivotal, right? It could have went either way. And now you see what we got with the All-Star game now, man. We see what we got with the All-Star game now, and the fans don't love it. I don't know who. Somebody put in the one in the chat if you excited to watch this USA versus the world. This is their 4th or 5th attempt to try to fix the All-Star game. You remember that when they was like, hey man, let's dedicate the fourth quarter to Kobe and the first team to 24. Like, it don't matter what the score is, the first three quarters. When we get to the fourth quarter, it's 0-0. The first team to 24 wins. That wasn't fun. Hey, man, let's do team captains and you get to pick. And then whoever gets the most votes is the team captain. And, you know, KD and LeBron, y'all pick. We do it live on TV. That wasn't fun. That's all that Mickey Mouse stuff. They trying so much stuff. And these little goofy things that they're trying to fix. It fits the attitude and the mentality of how LeBron and Rich Paul think. They think very cleverly, but very childish. Like, these are childish adjustments to a man's game. I mean, it is a kid's game. So it's grown men playing a childish game. These are childish adjustments, you know, but just because it's a kid's game don't mean you got to be childish. Like, you could still do man things, like, you know, like, be serious about it. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got to be real about it. So nobody wants to watch it. Anybody want to watch it? Somebody got to want to watch it, right? Somebody got to want to watch it. So that's not it, though. You know, it's a lot of stuff that LeBron just said this week, man. His podcast is back. I seen somebody in the comments section earlier talk about him. I was very close to talking about the 82 game thing, but I think I'm gonna say that for tomorrow. I think I get it to y'all tomorrow. But yeah, he said some goofy stuff about the 82 games. But no, that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Ramona Shelbourne, and I don't know. It's been a minute since I heard much from her. I don't know if she's one of those people that LeBron can count on in the media to be loyal to him and run interference for him and go out there and cape for him. But she definitely caping for him today, right? And just all of a sudden, I don't even know. She's on a radio station based out in LA with some other guys, and for some odd reason, she felt the need to try to come and you know, as a result of that article that went out about the Buss family and Jeannie Buss saying what she said about LeBron and him not being grateful for drafting Bronny and all that stuff, right? I mean, perfect timing. Ramona Shelbourne spoke on that, and what she said kind of shocked me.
I don't think LeBron asked the Lakers to draft Bronny.
Oh, come on.
I don't think he or Rich Paul
that is ridiculous.
Actually
that
said
is an unbelievably ridiculous
So wait a minute.
concept.
Are you then saying, if that is true, are you saying that Jeannie, Rob Pelinka, and everybody did that on their own?
I'm telling you they did.
Let's take it at the premise that that's true.
Okay.
Did they do it because they thought he was talented or because they thought LeBron would like that?
I think they did this because they thought LeBron would like that.
Okay. If the Lakers didn't draft him, would anybody else have?
The Golden State Warriors
Golden
considered
State,
him.
Sure.
The Dallas Mavericks, old Nico
Okay.
Harrison over there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And the Phoenix Suns. All three of those teams had interest in Bronny. Would they have actually taken him? I don't know.
You know, this is like is this your sense of?
No, I know this.
You know this.
She said she know, and I don't know what she was referring to when she said she know. I think she was referring to she know that Golden State and Phoenix were really considering drafting Bronny. They was really looking at him, and that was reported before the draft that Golden State. I don't know about Phoenix, but it was reported at Golden State. But I think there was also another move for Golden State to potentially get LeBron to join them. So I don't know if it was just about interest in Bronny. I think it was interest in bringing LeBron in, you know, because everyone knew whatever team gets Bronny, that's probably what LeBron's going to be because he wants to play with his son. So I think that was, you know, I think she's been just a tad bit misleading with that because I don't think no one was watching what he did at USC, averaging his 4.6 points a games and missing half of the season and saying, gotta have him. Still of the draft, gem, diamond in the rough, rose petals. He's the prince. I doubt they was saying those things, right? They were saying, do y'all want to bring in LeBron? Well, you know, if you bring in LeBron, you got to draft Bronny. Okay, let's consider that. That's probably more of what that was, right? But her initial comment was, I don't think LeBron coerced the Lakers to draft Bronny. She's really going to try to float out the idea that Jenny Buss and Rob Pelinka was like, we haven't talked to LeBron about this, but let's do our big board for the draft. And we're going to have, look, we got 4 picks. Let's put all the prospects on there that we like, that we think will fit our program, that we think are also going to be available at the times that we're drafting. Let's put them on the big board. And I doubt that on that big board, they went and scouted and was like, Bronny James. I doubt any other teams did that. I very seriously doubt that. And if that's the case, at the trade deadline, I want to see Phoenix or Golden State go get their guy. Go get Bronny. Show us that you really was thinking about drafting him. Go get him. Go get Bronny right now at the deadline. Get him off the bench because the Lakers not using him. So Phoenix, Golden State, go get Bronny at the deadline right now. I'm pretty sure, hey, you can get a sweet deal. Whoever you drafted instead of Bronny in the second round, go ahead and send him over for Bronny and his 4-year guaranteed contract. Right? I want to see Bronny's names floated around in some of these trade talks. I remember we had a guy on there last year named Guillermo arguing with me, telling me that Bronny James was better than Black from Orlando, you know, and so all these other guards he was naming. I'm like, man, you got to get Kobe White and all this crazy stuff. I mean, like, you just watch, give him 2 years. Okay. I want to see it. I want to see it for sure. But yeah, Ramona Shelbourne, I don't know what her major malfunction is with that. I think it's interesting. Great one. It's funny how they saying it was a dream for Bronny to play in the NBA, but then say if any team drafts him, he's going to go play overseas. Very interesting, right? That is very interesting. Should we move on or should the phone lines be open up for this one, y'all? Yeah, she lost a lot. Once you start running interference for players, even if it's not LeBron, just any players that you're running interference for when they're rightfully getting smoke from someone else, from the media via a story they wrote, or article, or a podcast, or something they said on ESPN. Like, you have to allow people to get critiqued properly. If someone is critiquing them honestly and objectively and properly, let that person get critique. We got to stop running interference and trying to protect narratives for players around players. If the critique is proper, right? There was no reason for her to jump off the porch and say, you know what? I don't think. Why would you even say that if you don't know? She said, I don't think the Lakers. Like, really? Do you know? Are you just throwing it out there? Like, what? Explain to me why you don't think the Lakers. And this is why I didn't like them changing the subject to the other teams that was interested in Bronny, because it lets her off the hook of the real question that should have been asked, which was, what makes you think that the Lakers just decided to draft Bronny without LeBron James' knowledge, interference, or persuasion? Like, what just make you out the blue just like, you know what? I think the Lakers just did that independently without LeBron. Like, listen to it.
I don't think LeBron asked the Lakers to draft Bronny.
Oh, come on.
I don't think he or Rich Paul
is ridiculous.
Actually
that
said.
That is an unbelievably ridiculous
So wait a
concept.
minute. Are you then saying, if that is true, are you saying that Jeannie, Rob Pelinka, and everybody did that on their own?
I'm
telling you they did.
Let's take it at the premise that that's true.
Okay.
Did they do it because they thought he was talented, or because they thought LeBron would like that?
I think they did this because they thought LeBron would like that.
Okay. If the Lakers didn't draft him, would anybody else have?
The Golden State Warriors
Golden
considered
State,
him.
Sure.
The Dallas Mavericks, old Nico
Okay.
Harrison over there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And the Phoenix Suns.
Nico
All three of
Harrison
those
was not
teams
thinking about
had
drafting no
interest
Bronny.
in Bronny. Would they have actually taken him? I don't know.
You know, this is like your sense of,
No, I know this.
you know this.
She know this for a fact that teams was thinking about drafting him, but she knows teams wanted to draft Bronny. Don't know if they would have actually done it, but she knows teams was thinking about it. Dallas, Phoenix, Golden State. 3 teams. She knows that, but she thinks that the Lakers didn't hear from LeBron about drafting Bronny. She thinks that. What makes you think that, Ramona? That's the question that should have been asked by those guys. But what she said was so shocking that the dude was like, oh, come on, get out of here. Like, we all know this. Like, we was living it. Like, I think everyone thinks everyone is dumb. And that's what bothers me the most. You know what I mean? It, like, the Jedi mind trick that they do in the media is unreal. The Jedi mind trick is unreal. Like, we're seeing it in real time, even with this White House regime. The stuff that they get on TV and on social media and say, they would dead hold this daggone phone in their hand and say, this is not a cell phone. This is not a cell phone. And if you think this is a cell phone, you are an enemy of the state. And then they'll call somebody on it and be like, yeah, I'm coming outside right now. All right, bye. And then hang up. And everybody's sitting there like, and then once they say that, everyone who agrees with them politically will start telling the people on the other side, see, I told you that's not a cell phone. We're like, are you freaking serious? Like, he just made a phone call on it. That is a freaking cell phone. No, it's not a cell phone. What? Like, I literally just watched people say that this man that got killed in Minnesota pulled the gun out and threatened the agents. And then it started getting repeated by everyone on that side. And I'm like, are you freaking serious? Like, what the heck is going on? Like, are we watching the same video? Right? That's what they're doing in all forms of media, not just politically, but even in sports. You would see something on TV, and then people like Ramona Shelbourne and other people that's in the media would get on TV and tell you didn't see what you just saw. You would see Jokic get blown by for 4 straight quarters and give up layups just for somebody to get on TV and tell you he's actually one of the best defenders in the league if you look at these numbers. Like, that's literally what's going on. This lady, we sat and listened to reports come out about Rich Paul telling teams not to draft Bronny or he will go overseas. We sat and watched him not work out for several teams, even though he was projected to go undrafted. That's where he was ranked at, ready to go undrafted. And you're picky on about what teams you want to work out for someone who about to go undrafted. That sounds like someone who know he was going to the Lakers. Turning down workouts don't sound like somebody that is potentially going undrafted. That sounds like somebody that know he's getting drafted. We sat before the draft and heard Rich Paul come out and tell people, my client would not be signing a 2-way deal. That don't sound like somebody who's about to go undrafted where he's telling people what type of deal he will and won't sign. That sounds like somebody who knows exactly where he's going and knows that he's going to get that deal. Like, none of this sounds like a guy who don't know if he's going to get his name called or not. Everything that happened. So we know for a fact that the Lakers just wasn't saying, you know what, just we ain't gonna talk to LeBron. You know, and look, even if I'm dumb enough to believe that, you still got to talk to his agent, which is Rich Paul, which happened to be one of LeBron's best friends. And if you think they're so professional to where Rich Paul can be the agent of LeBron and LeBron can be his client, that they would actually call and talk to each other about things dealing with LeBron James, and LeBron's son never comes up during the draft process. Like, you think Rich Paul and LeBron can get on the phone and talk and be like, let's just keep it professional. Let's just talk about my stuff. I don't want to know anything about Bronny. Just handle that. You really think that's going on? You really think LeBron could be doing a podcast with JJ Redick several episodes for a full season while JJ Redick is also interviewing for the head coaching job that he's on the roster for? Like, you really think that he can be like, man, I just talked to Rob Pelinka, and he thinking this in his head, dang, I just talked to Rob Pelinka and it's looking good. The interview went good. I might get this job. But I can't say nothing to LeBron. We about to do this podcast. He about to come in right now. He comes in and JJ Redick just like, all right, let's just talk about these X's and O's. And JJ don't mention not one time that he interviewed for the Lakers head coaching job. Y'all really think they're just walking around here being that professional? Heck, we can't even get Pete Hegseth not to tweet out war plans on an unsecure cell phone. He talking to his old lady about stuff that's going on. yeah, we about to go bomb so and so. Like, his old lady getting pillow talk about like, this is insane, dog. Like, these people are not professional like that. They're not, man. They don't make them like that no more. Loose lips sink ships for sure. They're just not that professional, dog. Yeah, I got a few bridges too. A few of them. Whether he did or didn't, Jenny gave the okay. I don't even know what that means, young disciple. What does that mean? There you go. Shiny object over here. That's not the topic of discussion. The topic of discussion is, did the Lakers and LeBron James have an understanding that they was going to draft Bronny? Or was LeBron James just in the dark about it? Put a 1 in the chat if you think LeBron James had no clue that the Lakers were going to draft Bronny. Or if you think that he didn't tell the Lakers or ask the Lakers to draft Bronny. Because the report that just came out with Jenny Buss saying that he was ungrateful that we actually drafted him would imply that he did want them to draft him. Right? Thanks, Sherman. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. We need people around here that enjoy my takes. We got a lot of people that don't enjoy my takes. We got a lot of people that don't enjoy my takes, man. That's just the business side. Yeah, so I mean, look, listen. We know we know what the real is. What 55th pick gets to decide and guarantee his contract for 4 years? None that I know of, dog. I'm saying two different things, Nino. You know what? I'm gonna open the phone lines up. Explain to me why I'm saying two different things. Phone lines are open. Hold on, let me give me a second. Let me set it up. I'm saying two different things, huh? Maybe I am saying two different things. Maybe I am. Maybe I am saying two different things. All right. Y'all can call in. Phone lines are open. Nino Brown. What two different things I'm saying? What else? Rockets and Lakers. Is the season ended today? What do you think? What do the Lakers want to be? Do they beat Houston? That's a daggone good question. I can't wait till we get closer to the playoffs where we can start having those conversations for sure. Caller from Mississippi. What's up? Oh, this Nino. What's good?
What's good, man?
Yeah.
You slick talking too, boy. You good, huh? You good now.
What I'm saying two different things. What two different things am I saying?
Now you saying at first you said did he tell them and did he know? That's two different things now.
Okay. All right. Explain.
Is it possible? Now, bro, put it out. Now, see, I'm not saying he. Now, listen to me close now.
Okay.
I'm not saying he didn't use his leverage to get Bronny on the team.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
not saying that.
in the discussion then. That's all I needed to know. There ain't
No,
nothing
that
else to
what
be
you
said.
saying.
Ain't nothing else to be
That
said.
ain't what they saying. No, that's different.
It ain't nothing else
That's
to be
not what
said.
she said.
You playing semantics though. You know what I meant.
I figured that was you, man.
Yeah. But so the question is this: did LeBron use his leverage to get Bronny on the squad or get him drafted?
Oh, that's different. Of course.
All right.
But this
So I think that's the end of the discussion. That's the end of
the
the discussion right there, though.
No, it's not the end of the discussion.
Okay.
Because it's in your hands. See, if you own something, see, you a man of can you get the job done and results right? Because I hear you talk military or how y'all do stuff. But I hear it's a little different, man. I'm gonna tell you what I believe happened, and it's just my belief, like I believe everybody else just believe. Bro had already put it out. Hey, I want to play with my son. That'll be a dream.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Because he been saying that.
Yeah.
So I gotta tell y'all, hey, I would like to play with Bronny now. That's why and you said it a while ago, that's why I believe the Warriors knew. So the Warriors been trying to get Bronny to play with Steph.
Right.
They said, when we drop Bronny gonna come over here. So the Lakers didn't have to drop Bronny. They didn't have to go to Bronny, which I believe they did. I said, hey, Rich, tell Bronny, chill out. We're gonna take care of it. We're gonna drop Bronny. Don't worry about nothing. They could have easily said, hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Which I believe if you was a GM, that's what kind of stuff you would say. I believe they come to Rich Paul, hey man, tell Bronny, chill out, we gonna draft him. Remember, they didn't have Luka. We're gonna draft him, just chill out, we got him. We gonna do this and that. He don't gotta worry about going nowhere playing for nobody.
Okay.
That's why Rich Paul put it out there. That's different than saying, Bronny come to you say, hey man, we need y'all to draft Bronny, you know. Now I understand what you're saying, which is true. The most of us, all you had to do was put it out there to me. Hey man, I would really like to play with my son. It's been a dream. It's a dream. It's a dream of his to hear his name called. And the Lakers did the rest. They folded. That's on the Lakers.
Right.
What you think about that?
I mean, I think that's a good thought process to have, but it's still a little bit off track from what Ramona Shelbourne said. Ramona Shelbourne came out and said, I don't think LeBron told the Lakers to draft Bronny. And like I said, that's being misleading because she's trying to be slick. She's trying to be slick because we know what this is in reaction to. It's in reaction to the article where Jimmy Buss said he was ungrateful that they actually drafted it. And this is the Clutch Sports reply saying, well, we never asked you to draft them. And that's that female shit where, listen, that's that female shit. That's what that is. Come on, man. You know good and well you wanted us to draft Bronny. I don't care if you didn't ask us directly to do it, which he probably did. I'm pretty sure he did. But that's just like saying, yeah, Rich Paul asked the Lakers to do it, not LeBron. Like that's what she's playing semantics, dog. She look. I'm not trying to be. Listen. Just because you could make a statement and that statement might be true because directly he didn't do something, but indirectly he did. I mean, that's dumb to me that we go play that game. Listen, we know he said publicly he wanted to play with Bronny. So we know for a fact wherever team Bronny get drafted, he wants to be there. So if he never went to Rob Pelinka personally, which I don't believe he didn't, I think he did. If he didn't go to Rob Pelinka personally, I'm pretty sure he had that conversation with Rich Paul, and Rich Paul as Bronny's agent went to Rob Pelinka or Jeannie Buss and had that conversation. So can Ramona Shelbourne get information from Rich Paul via phone call and be like, I don't like that article they just wrote. How about this? LeBron never talked to them about drafting Bronny. I did. So now Ramona Shelbourne, like, oh, thank you for giving me information. I can say this on my podcast. And now guess what? Ramona Shelbourne is circulating in the daggone news again. And we didn't even know where the hell she was at. I didn't know she was on that radio station. Now she's back in the news again. She might get invited on ESPN tomorrow morning. Watch my word. After she said that on the radio station, watch my word, she end up on ESPN either tomorrow or Thursday. She'll be on ESPN by the end. I guarantee you she'll be on one of these shows tomorrow. She might be on First Take with Stephen A. Smith. He might want some of that juicy news. Tell me what you said again. What do you mean? No, they playing game. No, they playing games. You know, she just wanted the news. She wanted the news and the tea and get that tea out there. And she's playing semantics because she knows she's already talked to Rich, and Rich said LeBron never talked to Jeannie. I did, which is the same thing as LeBron. It's the same thing.
But she didn't say that.
That's just like saying that's just like
they did it because they like it.
That's a damn.
They know LeBron would like it.
No, that's not what she said. She said other team. She said, so do you think that the Lakers drafted him because they like his talent? And she never answered the question. And then there's somebody else asks, were other teams going to draft him if the Lakers didn't? She was like, yeah, I know 3 teams. So she never answered the question if the Lakers drafted him for talent.
No, she didn't say that. She said,
all right, so let me ask you this. If she would have said, if she would have said this instead of, let's take it off Bronny. If she would have said, LeBron never asked Rob Pelinka for a contract extension, but Rich Paul did. Are you buying that? Like, are you going to run with that and be like, hey, he didn't never?
No, that's the same. No, that's the same thing, bro.
Right.
That's the same thing.
So if your agent do it,
she didn't say that. Listen to what she said, though, man.
Man, if I was on that show with her, I would have been like, did Rich Paul ask the Lakers? Who asked the Lakers to draft Bronny? That's what I want. Did Rich Paul do it? Like, I would have asked those questions. They failed.
She said that they did it. She said that they did it because they knew Bron would like it. That means they was trying to pander the Bron.
How they knew? How did they know LeBron would like it?
They been saying it for years.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. It's indirect. That's like Kawhi Leonard.
Okay. So let me. Hold on. So let's reverse engineering it. So they knew they drafted Bronny not because of talent, but because they knew Bron would like that. And you said that they knew that Bron would like that because LeBron has been talking for years about playing with his son on the same team. So let me ask you this. If LeBron always said, it's my dream to play on the same floor with my son in the same jersey, on the same team, and you're contracted under the Lakers, then ain't that the same thing? Ain't that the same thing? Yeah, but they wanted to keep him. So ain't that the same thing as saying draft Bronny if you want me to stay here? Is that not the same thing as saying draft Bronny if you want me? He played it perfectly to be a free agent at the perfect time, because if you're not going to draft Bronny, then I'm going to walk. And everything that I've made for you with ticket sales and jersey sales ends today. It can end on draft day, because if you don't draft him and somebody else draft him, Golden State, Phoenix, Dallas, then that's where I'm going. And me and Bronny would do our King Griffey over there, and then we'll make them some money this season.
But what I'm saying, I agree. Okay, I'm gonna answer that. I agree 1,000% with you, Mel. But let me ask you this then: since you won't put it on them, that if you try to put that on Bron, if you the GM or you the owner, now we can't make you the GM. You the owner with basketball sense. See, this goes back to Jenny and Randy's them. Ain't really making basketball sense. They trying to sell tickets. If Bron come to you with that same, he been saying at the same time, and we see Bronny, the talent Bronny had, like, man, this ain't no second. Yeah, we can get this. We can bring them in tonight. What would you have done? You wouldn't have drafted one.
If I was the GM of the Lakers,
you're right. No, if you the owner.
If I'm the team owner,
you had a choice to sell tickets or rebuild the franchise.
I mean, would I draft Bronny? if I
sold
want,
50
if
million jerseys, man.
LeBron was the cat, I mean, I guess it depends on what that money was looking like at the end of the season. Evidently, it was looking good. The money must be good. I don't know. I honestly don't know what I would do, to be honest with you. I don't. But I do think I do think they made a mockery of the NBA. I probably wouldn't have done it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably wouldn't have been like, yeah, I want you to have that moment, LeBron. I just don't want to do it, dog. Like, you know, and it'd be a hard decision for me to be like, dang, we gotta let you go because now I gotta figure something else out for ticket sales. You know what I mean? But with the Lakers, we can get superstar. Right. We just got Luka. Like, with the Lakers, we can get superstar. So I think they should have just trusted their gut and said, you know, honestly, if they would have already had Luka, I don't think they would have done it. If they already had somebody that was going to sell tickets from.
Talk.
Yeah.
Now you talking real business talk.
Yeah.
I agree with it. I think, and we found out that Genie and them don't got as much money. Now, when I say this, I ain't comparing them to our money. They don't got as much money as them, like the new billionaire owners. They got one family business. Their best NBA was their business. These guys coming in with billions off top of billions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we found that out. That's why when they come in, they're like, hey, hold on. we ain't signing Bron to no max contract for 1 year. He washed up, you know. It's time for him to go. We ain't gonna do all this and that. We're gonna get Luka. We're gonna build around Luka because they got real money. So yeah. I believe it's more than two sides to the story now. But you right on you right in principle of what's going on, but you know how they playing it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was right in what I was saying. I think I think Ramona Shelbourne is full of caca. I think she full of that shit, man. But yeah, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate you.
Opportunity.
All right. Super chat, $5 super chat. Appreciate you. My son works. Line is too cold, man. Hey, on the high and low, these last few games have shown LeBron body language and facials to be unhappy. Actually, yeah, I would have said that last week, but actually these last couple of games is actually getting a little bit better, man. He picked, everything picking up. Things are looking, and the Lakers look better too. Kwame Brown is greater than Bronny. Even MJ had a better GM than LeBron. Thank y'all for the super chats, man. We can take one more phone call before we move to the next topic, y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all long tonight. It won't be another 3 hours for sure. I agree. If Luka was there earlier, the Lakers wouldn't have fulfilled the request to draft Bron. I agree with that 100%. Thanks for the super chat, Andrew, man. Yeah, definitely hit the like button, y'all. Hey, man, let's try to get this. We got 226 watching, man. Let's try to get everybody to hit the like button. So I want to see 226 on the like button. My goal for this video, for people that's watching the playback, is I want to see what a video would do if we got 1,000 likes. I think I think the last video we did last night, I think it's like 600 likes. So I want to see if we could challenge ourselves to get as much likes as possible, because I want to see 1,000 by tomorrow, just to see how the video performs if we get 1,000 likes. So that's the goal, man. 1,000 likes, man. Yeah, caller, what's up?
Yeah, what's up, man?
I'm good, man. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, the lady, what's her name? The lady
Ramona Shelbourne.
Yeah, Ramona. She capping. She just doing it. She got to be doing that for ratings, because everybody know that LeBron was in conversation, had talked to the Lakers about Bronny. Like that ain't even a question. You see how the dude responded. The guy that was talking to her, like, come on, like he was like, you got this.
Yeah, he couldn't believe she said that, dog. He just couldn't believe it. Like, are you serious? Like, you really want us to believe that?
Yeah, just how, so you could tell by his response. It just was the craziest thing said. So it was just ridiculous. I just look at it as it just had to be for ratings. That's why you talking about it. it was just it's just a click, it was just all for ratings.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. All right, man. I appreciate the call, man. We gonna move on. I got a couple of more topics that I think y'all go like, man. But thanks for the call.
For sure.
All right. Another super chat. I think Brian won't retire without a ceremony, and I think you're right about that. But we'll see. I mean, I guess LeBron full of surprises, but then at some points he really ain't full of surprises. What do you think of Channing Frye's take on the MVP? If you know, you know. Well, you know what I think about it because Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye's take on MVP was actually my take on the MVP. All right, that's how I know people be watching the show, man, because now we starting to hear people that got huge platforms start to actually talk about winning in defense the way they supposed to be. So since you said that, let's go ahead and move to that conversation, right? And you read my mind. I don't know how you knew that I was going to discuss that tonight, but you definitely read my mind. So Channing Tatum, like I said, it sounds like Channing Tatum and Richard Jefferson watched Man Down Sports, right? So what did they say? Well, they said a lot, right? They was talking about the MVP. They was talking about Luka specifically. And basically everything I said last night and everything I've been saying for the last 3 years, if you need a reminder, I will show you what my MVP criteria is. It's offensive value and how that offensive value leads to your team's success, and defensive value and how that defensive value leads to your team's success. And there's two ways that I look at the team's success. One, if offensively you're the highest scoring player in the league, I want to see it translate to your team being one of the highest scoring teams. Like if you're scoring 40 points a game, but your team is 15th in scoring, something's not right. It's not translating. So you're doing something wrong. Why are you the highest scoring, but it's not propelling your team to the top of the ranks as far as scoring, right? So sometimes less is more, right? And whoever the number one scoring team or number one offensive rated team is, maybe they got the right formula. So what are you doing wrong, right? So I like to see your offensive value lead to success of your team by way of where they're rated at offensively, and then ultimately the success of your team in the win column. And the same thing for the defensive value as well. So that's my real criteria. And then to get down to the nitty gritty and specifics, the Jordan trophy, the Michael Jeffrey Jordan trophy is the MVP trophy. The NBA named the MVP trophy after the GOAT, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So I use him as a standard. And I used the example of his 87-88 MVP, which was his first one. That was the year he won the scoring title, the steals lead, made all defensive first team and all NBA first team, was the defensive player of the year, played all 82 games, all of these things, right? So it's a total complete player on both ends of the floor that's available, plays both sides, and it leads to success of his team. And I like to see you above a fourth seed in your conference, fourth seed or above. You know what I mean? That's what I like to see. So that's my standard. And it sounds like it might be Richard Jefferson's standard now. Let's hear what they talk about.
Speaking of Luka, he's leading the league. I don't know if you guys knew this in points. Third in assists. He's still third in MVP voting.
Should be second.
Should he be higher?
Yes.
Go ahead, Perk.
He should be second. He should be second. We're witnessing one of the greatest weapons of all time. That damn boy is a fool. He is a damn fool when it comes down to just being an overall offensive threat. The scoring is easy, but getting the dimes right now, the assists, and last night playing off the ball. But what Luka is doing right now is like, we talk about what James Harden was doing in Houston. This is on the same level.
But James Harden was also number one. And that's what I'm saying. James Harden was doing this. Luka's doing it. Again, we forget Luka's been first team All NBA for 5 straight years. Like, that's what I say it as in like we are seeing once in a generational thing. Well, let's look at his accolades, and it all points to what he's doing right now. He been that dude. He started off that dude. He's a phenom, and it looks like that dude keeps getting better, right, on one side ball. So I'm with you. What we're seeing is next level. I think him and what he's doing offensively is on MVP level, period. It's MVP, and it's been that way. If you're first team All NBA, you're in the MVP conversation. And he's been there 5 straight years.
Channing.
Okay. So that's the first part of it. They asked about Luka. Kendrick Perkins talked about his offensive prowess, said it was similar to Harden. Richard Jefferson immediately butted in and said, yeah, but Harden was number one. Yeah, Harden did have number 1 seed in the West, which was even better than Golden State one year, which was phenomenal. I don't know if it was his MVP year or not. I think it was his MVP year. So somebody in the comment section said the Rockets wasn't number 1, and he said it was the 6th seed. No, I think that's the year you're talking about. Westbrook was in the 6th seed. When Westbrook got his MVP, he was in the 6th seed. I don't think Harden was in the 6th seed. He definitely had number 1, and that was the difference between Harden. Like, we talked about his high usage rate. We talked about the triple-double basketball and all that stuff. And we talked about his defense being subpar, even when he was in the MVP discussions. But here's the thing. You couldn't really critique him too hard. Just like if Luka, the way I critique Luka and Jokic for not playing defense and for playing triple-double basketball, if they ever got to the number 1 seed, there's nothing I could say. I could critique their defense all day long, but what they're doing got them to the best record in the league. So at that point, whatever his and Richard Jefferson is going to say this same thing. I've been saying this for years. Richard Jefferson almost said it like verbatim how I said, and so did Channing Frye. They both sound like that we're either thinking alike or they've heard me say it before, because they're saying the same things I've been saying. So if Luka and Jokic plays no defense, if Harden plays no defense, but they get their team to a number 1 seed, what can you tell me? You're playing defense and scoring. I'm scoring and not playing defense, but my team record is better than yours. You got to give them the award. They earned it at that point. So with the numbers that Luka and Jokic has right now, if they had the record that OKC has right now, it don't matter how much defense SGA plays. If like the Lakers is in the 5th seed, if OKC was in the 5th seed and the Lakers was in the number 1 seed, there's no conversation. It don't matter if Luka don't play defense and SGA does. He got his team to a number 1 seed. That's the heaviest weight that you can have. Winning weighs heavier than every stat that you can have. You shouldn't snub the person who's winning more. And I don't believe in creating a false narrative of saying this, the only reason why they got the best record is because they got a super team and this other guy that's a candidate has a scrub team, because we're finding out that they're just making stuff up lying like that. No, it's not that you have a scrub team, it's that y'all play a scrub type of offense, and your offense is so flawed that you could have Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson, and Jamal Murray on the roster with the so-called best player on the earth. So you got the best player on the earth that already gives you an advantage over every team in the league. If you got the apex predator, the best player on the earth, you already have an advantage over every other team. And from what Jokic fans tell me, is not even close. He's by far better than everybody. So if Jokic is by far better than everybody, just him on a roster gives you an advantage. On top of having that apex predator, you have an all-star caliber player in Jamal Murray, an all-star caliber player in Michael Porter Jr., and both of these dudes are unbelievable scorers. And then you have an all-star caliber player in Peyton Watson, who's an unbelievable scorer. And then you got Aaron Gordon. You got all that on one team with the apex predator on the planet. But SGA got 14, 15, I think almost 18 more wins than you. What are you doing to fumble the bag with the best player that his fans say ever. He's the he said he might be the GOAT, and he's in his prime. He's 30. You know what I mean? He's 30. You got the Michael Jordan of this era on your team with 3 all-star caliber players who are unbelievable scorers. 2 of them done scored 50 this season. And we see what Michael Porter Jr. doing over there in Brooklyn. Unbelievable. And then now we see what Peyton Watson doing. Unbelievable. You got all of that firepower with the best player, but you 18 games behind SGA. How the hell do you think you go get MVP? Being 18 games behind OKC on top of not playing defense. It's not even possible. But if somehow you had the best record in the league, that'll help you out.
I just don't think, and here's my rebuttal to that about where he is at 3. And I kind of keep the same energy. I don't think you should be an all-star if you're on the worst team in the NBA.
Preach.
Or the worst team in your conference. I believe that. And I don't think you should be first or second in MVP vote if you're top 5 worst defender in the NBA.
Preach.
I just don't think so. He is statistically a top 5 worst defender in the NBA. Yes, every sentence that you guys said offensively. We are talking about complete players.
Complete
right?
player.
I know it's not. Yes, he is stratosphere offensively. He is timeless and amazing, and we'll be talking about his offensive game for the rest of basketball. He does not put that much energy into the defensive end. Until he's not top 10 worst defender in the NBA, I don't have him as 1 or 2. I just don't respect that part to me. I think he's amazing. I think he can do it. He chooses not to for the offensive side. So just give me a little bit more effort on the defensive side, and then, yes, give him the nod. But I just can't. He's just playing offense. He's not a quarterback. He's a basketball player.
He said he just playing offense. He's not a quarterback. He's a basketball player. He said he just playing offense. He just out there playing offense. And then he's a cone on defense. I'm just out here for the offense. I'm just out here for the offense. You ever hear a shot go up? You know, you every team always have a talker. You know, on defense, it was KG for the Celtics. Sometimes in a lot of cases is your point guard. You know what I mean? You have to have a talker. People calling out. I hear it's LeBron for most of his career. Rondo was a talker. Draymond Green's a talker. Like, someone's always communicating on defense. Hey, man, watch that screen. Get over. I'm going under. You know what I mean? Screen left side, screen on the right. You know, is always calling stuff out. Mouse in the house, mismatch. Go down low. Yeah, you got one. Your girlfriend right there. You got one. I'm always talking, man. Like, everybody has to do that talking, right? But my favorite one is, you know, someone always reminding everybody to get back on D. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that on, you know, from a coaching standpoint when you're coaching kids, because you preach and you talk and you say all of this during practice, and you try to preach, box out, but if we don't get the rebound, you have to get back on D. You have to hustle back. Hold on, did I lose my well, here's Luka though. I never heard Luka say get back on D. I actually heard Luka say get back on O one time. Get back on O. Like he, as soon as he ready for the defensive play to be over. You know what I mean? Like people that really want to get stops, man, that shot go up. Get back. Everybody get back. We don't want to give up no easy baskets. Get back. But Luka is opposite. When he's on defense, he's ready to get back on offense. You know what I mean? Cherry picking, you know what I mean? Get back on O. That's the only time he communicate. Get back on O. Like he ready for the offense, man. The defense is a throwaway. You know, same thing that was doing in Phoenix with D'Antoni and Steve Nash, boy. They will let you score just so they can run a fast break in 7 seconds or less. They let them score. We just give buckets up, man. We get down there and get a 3. That's how they thought. Yeah, you can score. We ain't gonna foul you. You can get this layup, but guess what? We going right back down here and we get one. So we even. That's how they think about it. But Channing Frye is right. You can't be a player that is, he said Luka was in the bottom, not the bottom half. I would go a step further and say if you're in the bottom half of defenders as far as all the starters, you cannot be a serious MVP candidate, especially not top 2 or 3. Like you probably could have an amazing year and I would consider you, but you can't be above these guys that are doing it on both ends and winning more. Like you just can't. So your numbers can be amazing. And Channing Frye is right. And he said Luka is in the bottom. If you count from the bottom, you go up 5. There's Luka. He's like in the bottom 5 defensively, defensive rating. That can't be your MVP. But Kendrick Perkins is going to try to cap. Richard Jefferson is going to try to cap, but Richard Jefferson has to be honest at some point. So listen to what he said.
No, that's not true. It
is true. Statistically, he is the second worst defender ever.
He's been sliding those puppies of late. Like if you go back and watch that Dallas game in the fourth quarter, Jake Hill was trying to hunt him out. He was sliding those puppies.
6 straight stops where Dallas targeted Luka defensively.
I was there. I was.
Continue your rant. I apologize. I'm very proud.
Yeah, one game 6 times, guys. One game 6 times, and what are we gonna do? Give him a trophy?
No.
One game 6 times, 6 stops. One game. We're bragging about one game, 6 stops in the fourth quarter. Forget quarter 1, 2, and 3. Forget the first half of the fourth quarter. But somewhere in that middle of the fourth quarter to the end, he got 6 stops where they targeted him. So he decided to play defense. You know what? That frustrates even more because now that shows me that he can do it. So what was you doing all these other 50 games this season? What was you doing these first 7 years in the league? You get what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me you're excited that Luka played defense for 6 possessions in the fourth quarter? And that's all we got to brag. Like, seriously. Like, JJ Redick really went in the post game to try to explain that Luka was being targeted and he held his own for 6 possessions, which it wasn't like Luka on the island and he got to get a stop. You know, like half of the 6 times help came and Luka wasn't even nowhere. Like he still got initially he didn't get blew by, but then the help came and then he was just off to the side watching the help do what they do. I watched all those possessions. Like, you know, it was half of them was impressive. I think 3 of them was, and 3 of them was like, they really giving him credit for that. They giving him credit for that. Okay. All right. But, you know, at least he didn't get scored on. So that's something that you can celebrate. You get what I'm saying? That's like it's the difference of like if I go to my a relative house and they got a 7-year-old, their son is 7 or 8 years old, and he's getting up in the morning, cleaning his room and taking the trash out and then mowing the grass, doing those chores. And I'm like, wow, that's impressive. Your 8-year-old son is that disciplined. He's getting up without nobody asking him, making his bed, taking out the trash, mowing the grass without you asking him. That's impressive. But then I go to my other friend's house and he got a 25-year-old son that live with him that's getting up, making his bed, taking out the trash and mowing the grass. Are you impressed by the 25-year-old doing it? Right? So Luka is getting, oh my God, I'm impressed by something you're supposed to be doing. Like this is a given. Like everyone's supposed to be able to stop the man that's in front of them. Like that's baseline level stuff. Like being able to stop a guy and not get cooked is like, okay, baseline. Now to be above that is to be a stopper. Like I can actually be a stop. Like I can take this guy and say, go guard that guy and hold him down without a double team. Make it hard on him. Chase him around the screens. Do all that stuff. Be physical. But like, is one thing not to get cooked. So right. So for 6 possessions, he didn't get cooked and give up layups. You're supposed to do that. It's not impressive to be 25 living with your parents mowing the grass without somebody asking. That's not impressive at all. You get what I'm saying? I try to tell my son that all the time. I be like, dude, the stuff you doing, like that ain't cutting it. Like that was good when you was in high school that you was doing that. You can't get cool points for doing that now. That's not impressive, dog. Like you if you think I'm impressed by you doing X, Y, and Z, I'm not, dog. I would have been impressed when you was doing it in middle school, a little bit in high school. But now at this point, what you're supposed to be doing now is something totally different. You're supposed to be doing, close to what I'm doing as an adult, except taking care of a family. You get what I'm saying? Like you supposed to be doing that. You know what I mean? So we can't be impressed by somebody stopping somebody 6 times. Like, dude, you supposed to be doing it. All right. Here's Richard though.
Lord have mercy.
It's amazing that the worst defensive basketball player on here is holding defense at the highest level.
We don't know what it feels like to actually be labeled a franchise guy. And I say that respectfully.
Okay.
So the load that he's having to carry offensively, especially with Austin Reeves out, I don't need him to be an all-world defender.
Here we go with the cap again. You don't have to carry that load offensively. Ain't nobody asked you to play triple-double basketball and be the leading scorer, the primary scorer and the primary assist guy. You still got LeBron. He could be the primary assist guy. You don't have to do it. Like this is how I know this junk is just self-preserving. Like it don't matter what their roster look like. They're going to no, I'm going to be the assist guy and the main scorer. Like what the heck? Like I thought you was doing it out of necessity because you didn't have another guy that could do it. You got LeBron sitting right there willing to say, I'm not going to be the leading scorer. So let me handle the rock. You be the leading scorer. The fact that he left Dallas, the fact that he was in Dallas playing his play style and ran Rick Carlisle out of Dallas. Then he ran Porzingis out of Dallas. Then he ran Brunson out of Dallas. Then he got Kyrie Irving. So it don't matter who was there. Whoever his co-star was, whether it was Dennis Smith Jr., Porzingis, Jalen Brunson, Kyrie Irving, it don't matter who his coach was, whether it was J. Kidd or Rick Carlisle. It don't matter what the roster looked like. Luka played this same style. And people made excuses saying he don't have a choice because nobody else can handle the ball. And I said, that is a freaking lie from hell. And Satan put that in your ear. That is a lie from hell. Jalen Brunson, I knew Jalen Brunson. Like they was telling when I told people that he didn't have to do this on his podcast, they were telling me in the comment section, Jalen Brunson cannot handle the point. And that's why Luka has to play like that. I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me. And that's why I was like, man, I hope Jalen Brunson leave. And he did. And now we can see that was a lie. Then Kyrie showed up and I was like, okay, Kyrie definitely can handle the point. We know that. So why is he doing it now still? So it don't matter who now. Then he leaves Dallas, gets to LA. JJ Redick don't even want to play like this. I just heard an interview, a post game with him saying, you kind of got to just let him do it, man, because this is how he gets loose. You kind of just got to you just got to take the good with the bad. I'm like, he done gave up. I'm like, all right, we just go play Luka ball. So he has to play this way or he can't be great. He has to play this way, which is funny because that's what LeBron has been doing most of his career and alienate his teammates. But this play style is not even necessary. He don't even have to do that. So I hate when people say, yeah, he's carrying so much of a load on offense that we just got to accept the fact that he just not go play defense. No, hell no. Look, Kendrick Perkins got so much hell for calling Jokic out about defense during that Embiid MVP season that he's going and overcompensating and going to the other extreme to try to protect Jokic and Luka now because he don't want that smoke no more. It's crazy the guy that who hung his hat on defense, and that was his calling card, who couldn't score if he was the scorekeeper. So he was all defense. It's funny that he's the guy that's saying, I'm going to let Luka off the hook because he's doing so much on offense. Dude, you're a professional basketball player. You know good and hell well he don't have to play that way. He's playing that way for his stats. And that's cool, but you can't reward that and then let him off the hook by saying he don't have to play defense because he's doing so much on offense.
I just need he's giving forth the effort. Physically,
don't
he's
be
not
the worst.
Huh?
Just don't be the worst.
Okay, we didn't see Jokic. Let's not act like we haven't seen Jokic be like somewhat of that in the regular season. And then guess what? When he got to the postseason in that finals run, he knew he had to get his big ass down and up on them screens. And he started, no, I'm serious. He started doing a better job.
It's funny.
So I mean, it's not just like we haven't seen this before. Like Jokic hasn't been the best.
No,
like,
but this okay. Wait a second. So this is what I would say though. If Luka's number one, like James Harden, when James Harden won the MVP, his team was number one in the Western Conference, either first or second best record, I don't remember. If you're number one and your offensive numbers are so great, it don't matter what you're doing defensively. You look at Steve Nash, what they were doing with the 7 or seconds less Suns. Gosh. What they were doing there, their offense was so crazy. Them boys didn't even play defense. They was fast breaking off makes, right? So they still got the MVP because it didn't matter. They were beating everyone. If you're hovering in the 5th, the 6th, if you're hovering in that spot, you can be having a historically great offensive season. In order to be MVP, your offense has to get to a space or your team has to win at a rate that your deficiencies don't matter. If you're number one in the Western Conference right now, and like Luka doesn't play any defense, it's like, bro, their team is number one and he's leading the league in scoring. Like his team is number one, they're winning. He don't give a shit about defense, but their team is not. So that's where it's like, okay, that drops him to just a different tier. Like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won the MVP, maybe not because his numbers were greater than Jokic, but his team was ahead by 14 games. And the point of the game is to win it. That is a whole point. So if you win, it absolves you of a lot of deficiencies.
And there it is. Richard Jefferson and Channing Frye saying the same things I've been saying on this platform for years. It almost sounded exactly like what I say. Winning matters. Defense matters. Winning and defense has to be part of the equation. This on screen, trying to dissolve Luka of everything. Porzingis said Carlisle had him standing in the corner. It wasn't Luka's issue. That's a lie. First and foremost, Porzingis, go and check out the podcast that he did with JJ Redick 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, his first year in Boston. Go check that podcast out and listen to them have the talk about his time because JJ was in Dallas with him and Porzingis and Luka that year. Listen to that conversation and you'll know. Another way you can tell the play style that had Porzingis in the corner is the same play style that followed Luka from down. First of all, the play style that you're talking about that had Porzingis in the corner is the same play style that Luka played after Carlisle left and J. Kidd came in. That's how you know it's not Carlisle because it's the same play style that J. Kidd was doing after Carlisle left. And then when Jokic, not Jokic, but when Luka left Dallas and went to LA, that same play style followed him to LA. So pray tell me, if Carlisle is the reason why they're playing that play style, how come they were still doing it when Carlisle left? And how come they're doing it in LA now? Please tell me that. No, answer that question, dead man. If Carlisle was the reason Porzingis had to stand in the corner, why was they still playing the same play style when Carlisle left, and why are they doing it in LA now? Tell me that. And the reason why he was having issues with Carlisle is because Carlisle couldn't discipline Luka. Did you not hear Brendan Haywood, Theo Pinson, Tim Hardaway when Tim Hardaway Jr. was playing in Dallas? Like, all these people would tell you nobody could tell Luka anything. He was cussing people out. They hated him there. He was rude to people. Like, you seen him in the Boston series in the finals when he fouled out at one of those games and he looked over at Jay Kidd and told him fucking challenge to call when it was an obvious freaking foul. Like, I'm not going to win that challenge. You fouled him. You're fat. You look like Roseanne Barr and Dan. And that's it. So it is what it is. So tell me that, man. Do you know what it is? But yeah, he couldn't tell Luka anything. And if you go back to listen to the podcast, when JJ Redick was asking him, he told him, I remember when you and Luka was arguing on the sideline. And Carlisle came to you and said, stop fussing or whatever. And he told Carlisle, why don't you tell Luka to stop acting like a fucking baby? And then Carlisle was like, Luka, stop acting like a baby. And then, that's how it was. The issue was Carlisle couldn't discipline Luka. That frustrated Porzingis, on top of the fact that Porzingis he couldn't post up, he couldn't ISO, he couldn't do nothing with the ball. He just had to play in that system that Luka is playing in now in LA. And he's either going to be in the corner, and I think they was using Christian Woods for his high screen and roll situations, or maybe JaVale McGee. I don't know who was there. Sometimes they would use Porzingis, but it's just a horrible offense to play in when one guy has the ball and he's the only one that can get the touch until he decides to pass it. What you mean, who was in the corner after Rick left? Show me the roster. It could have been Maxi Kleber. It could have been Christian Wood. Any big that could shoot was going to do the same thing that Porzingis was doing. Or they was going to go small ball. And I mean, if you want to talk about the year they got to the finals with Jay Kidd, it was PJ Washington. They would have Derek Lively setting the screens for Luka. So he was setting the screens and diving, and he was the lob threat. PJ Washington would play power forward and be in the corner. Then you have Kyrie Irving on the arc, and then you have another shooter in the corner. That's the offense. It's 5 men out. It's not hard, dog. It's not hard. You just don't know what you're talking about. You're trying to save face. Hey, if you want to talk about a style getting you to the finals, I will raise you want to talk about a style winning the finals. It is what it is. They got to the finals and got the doors blowed off of them too, didn't they? So yeah, yeah, I don't like the style 100%, especially not. And we're not even talking about ranking what style is where. We're talking about MVP, and we're talking like Kendrick Perkins is saying he's carrying the load, so that should exempt him from defense, and we should be okay with him just giving a little bit of effort. And I'm like, hell no. Now we're talking about the most prestigious award in the NBA. We just can't get it away. Somebody that makes some type of, like, you can't create your own problems and then benefit from it. Like you're creating a problem. Like the problem is you got a heavy load on offense. I will understand if you had a heavy load on offense because all of your starters got hurt. Like that makes sense to me. Like when Magic Johnson had to play center for the Lakers because Kareem got hurt in the finals, I'll be like, okay, hey, that's something here. He stepped up and he had to do something outside the box for a win, but it was temporary. You're not supposed to get on a highway with a donut and drive from California to Vegas. Right? So when you're playing hero ball, triple double basketball, that is a Band-Aid, that is a donut that you're trying to do for 82 games. You're trying to drive from Cali to Vegas on a donut. You're not supposed to ride on that donut. That donut is there in case everybody get hurt and be like, hey, look, we're in the 3rd seed. Everybody's hurt except you. We going on a West Coast road trip. We got to win at least, out of these 10 games, we got to win at least 5 of them, dog, just so we can stay in the playoff hunt. And so you're going to have to look, all, the guys is injured. They're coming back when we finish this road trip. You just got to keep us afloat for 10 games. Just go nuts, dog. Keep us afloat. Do whatever you got to do. Shoot 50 times. It don't matter. Do what you got to do. We'll play that way temporary just so we can, in an emergency situation. But when everyone's healthy and you don't have to play like that, why are you playing like that? Why are you playing emergency basketball? Why are you playing hero basketball when you don't have to? And the only answer is because you want the stats. That's the only answer. So you created that problem. That problem wasn't created by injury or the roster being subpar. If the roster's subpar, okay, I get that part. If the roster's injured, I get that part. But you deciding to do this game 1. I want to play like this game 1 for 82 games. Why? So you created your own problem and then said, and since I'm doing all of this on offense, y'all should be okay with me not playing no D. No, you can't create that problem and then benefit from it on the defensive end by not giving no effort over there. And then at the same time, expect the reward and expect us to ignore the fact that you don't play defense. No, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. Bruh, hey, look, and I wasn't even watching that game. I was watching Paul George go off for Philly. Paul George was playing some daggone good. They scored almost 140 points tonight, Ticket. Almost 140 points tonight. Paul George was going out. So I was watching that game. I ain't catching none of the OKC game. I ain't catching none of the Denver game either, man. And I know that was a daggone good game against Detroit. But yeah, so he missed free throws. Sheesh. Hey, that man legs tired, dog. That man legs tired, man. They've been trying to load manage him a little bit, but his legs tired, dog, and he can't get the help he need from Gordon because Gordon hamstring keep going out on him. Man, it sucked, man. He said he was about to fry whack attack. Shout out to Ticket TV, y'all. He was about to fry. Hey, you can still fry whack attack though, man. Like, I mean, you played the best team in the East, the second best team in the league, and took them down to the wire and tricked off 2 free throws, and that's why y'all lost by 2 points. I mean, you can still, that's still cookable. That's still a meal right there, 100%. But you can't create your own problem and then get a reward for the problem you created. You get what I'm saying? You just can't do that. Like, hey, I'm gonna create a problem that don't need to be there. I'm gonna do too much on offense. Why the hell would you elect to do too much on offense? Why would you like? I hope it's coming out as clear as I'm thinking it. I hope it's coming out as clear as I'm thinking it. But like, dude, you're creating your own problem. I can't reward that. Why would you create an issue on offense? I'm going to create an imbalance on offense. I'm going to do too much. That way I can do nothing on defense. And I want a reward for it. That's insanity, dog. That's insanity. Who want the phone lines up? Put a 1 in the chat. Y'all want if somebody want to call in on this topic, put a 1 in the chat. If not, we'll move on. Let me see some ones. Somebody said threes pay better than on-ball defense, and we're surprised at the state of the NBA. Man, that's crazy. I agree to side, but stats is where you get paid. Winning gets you paid as well. Because Jaylen Brown got a max contract as a number 2, and so did Tatum get a max contract. And when you think about them boys, by the time they was 24, they had been in the finals twice and won one. They've been to the conference finals, I want to say 3 times in a row, maybe 4 times in a row. Like them boys was in the conference finals against the LeBron James and went 7 games, and Jaylen Brown was 21 and Jason Tatum was 20. Let that sink in. Think about that. So winning gets you paid as well. So at the end of the day, winning is king. You can go for them stats if you want to, but that's fool's gold. And time will tell. Stats will get you traded too. Stats with no defense will get you traded. Boston kept Tatum and Brown. Luka already street poontang here and already got tossed around like a salad. So you yeah, you can make your bed and lie like that if you want to. Phone lines are open. Winning does get you paid, but they want you to score 186. Oh man. All right, man. We ain't gonna get no phone call. I'm gonna move to the next topic then. Let's go to Jason Tatum since we're talking about Jason Tatum, y'all. And this is basically kind of like an extension of what I was talking about maybe last week about Steve Kerr and Jonathan Kuminga. And I was telling somebody, I hate the way Steve Kerr is handling Jonathan Kuminga because he is a mild-mannered young man who has English as a second language. So, you know what I mean? When English is a second language, you already kind of quiet. You get what I'm saying? You just more reserved, right? But on top of that, he's just a good kid. And he's very young. And this stuff that Steve Kerr is doing to him, he not going to the media about it. He ain't done no interviews. You don't hear his agent on nobody's podcast. It's just been real low key. Like, you know, like he's not saying much. And it's my belief that the fact that he don't say nothing makes it easier for Steve Kerr to do that to him. And the crazy thing about it is I really appreciate coaches like Steve Kerr and Greg Popovich when he was an active coach, because they would speak on social injustices that they see that's going out. Like Steve Kerr had something to say about the ICE murder. You know, they always spoke out about social injustice and stuff like that. So I appreciate both of them. I appreciate Steve Kerr for his voice in that respect. But what I don't like about Steve Kerr is a couple of things I don't like about him, but specifically this situation. I don't like that Draymond Green can threaten to kill him. They can get in a shouting match where they almost come to blows, and that gets reported, well documented. At halftime, they almost killed each other back there. Draymond Green can he can knock his teammate out on camera. He can do so many things, get suspended, like he can do so many things. And the punishment for Draymond Green just not be real punishments. You can run Kevin Durant off the team. You can tell him we don't need you. You're a B. You can do all these things. And the worst thing, I mean, he must be getting fined a lot. You know, Draymond Green said he been fined millions of dollars since he's been in the league. I don't know if Steve Kerr is finding him, or is it the front office, the GM, or Bob Myers, or the owner? I don't know who's finding. I don't know if he was talking about the NBA was finding him. It's probably the NBA. I doubt anybody in the Warriors organization got balls to find Draymond Green for real. But whatever they do for a punishment for Draymond Green, it don't last long. It'd be like, okay, man, you know, you don't have to practice. Don't show up to practice tomorrow, but you can play in the game. Or he might get benched for a half, you know, like when he was playing horrible against the Boston Celtics in the finals. He got benched and he put Otto Porter Jr. out there. But then next thing you know, the summer came and they gave him a contract extension, and he back on, you know, he back in the lineup. And you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, man, Why can Draymond Green have the worst behavior on the team? And Steve Kerr is like, I'm rocking with Draymond, right? He never benches Draymond Green and keep him on the bench and in the doghouse. If he benched Draymond Green, it's for a half or a quarter. That Draymond Green might not like, well, hey man, you ain't playing these last 5 minutes, man. You're shot off and sit him down. And Draymond Green be pissed off. But he ain't never got a DNP or he ain't never got you ain't gonna start like he don't do Draymond like that because Draymond Green gonna run that mouth. Kuminga not gonna say nothing. So it's easy for him to do someone that's not gonna say nothing like that. And that's what I don't like. You won't do it to Draymond, but you would do it to the quiet person, which leads us to Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum was the Kuminga for the Olympics when Steve Kerr was the coach in 2024 when they won gold. He found the person that wasn't going to say nothing. He probably, and this is, listen, everything makes sense now. He came out there and he looked at all the roster and realized, okay, I can't bench Kevin Durant because I actually need what he can do. I'm definitely not benching Curry because I think Curry is the GOAT and this is my player. So Steph Curry had, if they played 7 games, Steph Curry had 5 bad games and he had 2 good games the last 2 games. Steph Curry was absolutely garbage. And he never lost his starting spot. He was garbage for 5 games. The last 2 games he played really well. But he had that opportunity to be garbage and still, hey, you don't have no short leash. I'm not going to yank you. Then so KD and Steph, those his guys, they playing. Even though KD didn't start. So I'm okay with not starting KD. He'll be okay with this. But when it came to LeBron, he was like, I can't do that to LeBron. LeBron not going to take this sitting down. He not going to be quiet about it. So LeBron, you can have whatever you like. So he looked at who go get the short end of the stick because I have to play LeBron. I have to play KD. I have to play Steph. It's a lot of people that's going to get the short end of the stick. And when he probably came to Kawhi and told him, you're probably not going to play. I have Bron. Kawhi was like, all right, peace. I don't know if y'all remember that. Kawhi was on the squad. And before the game started, Kawhi was like, all right, I'm out. And no one really knows why he just left. I'm telling you why he left is because Kerr probably came to him and told him, you're not going to play much. LeBron, he's going to get these minutes. And I think this was Kawhi's first time playing in the Olympics. And just off principle, he's like, I'm not the one for that bullshit. If I ever run into Kawhi at the airport, man, I'm going to ask him about that. He's like, I'm not there. And I'm out here close to San Diego, and he got a house out here in San Diego. So who knows? I might run into him one day. But he was like, I'm not down for that bullshit. I'm out of here. Right? So then he was looking like, all right, Kawhi's gone. And I think they got Derek White to replace him. I think Derek White showed up. Then he was looking like, all right, I like Derek White because he's a guard. He plays defense. So who's the next person that I got to tell them that they're not going to get no PT? It was always the quiet person that he think ain't going to say nothing. And he went to Jason Tatum who was like, yeah, big dog, you ain't going to be playing. And Jason Tatum was like, all right, cool. That's why he went to Jason Tatum. Not for basketball reasons, because I got to play Steph. I got to play LeBron. I got to play KD. So someone's going to get the short end of the stick, and it's going to be the quiet one. Because I'm not going to bench nobody that's going to fuss me out. So Kuminga and Tatum they're getting this treatment from Steve Kerr because he's the only one. I don't want to use the word bully, but he's the only one that can push over them. He can't push over a LeBron or a Kawhi or a Draymond. So he finds who he can push over and he pushes them. But here's Jason Tatum explaining that on the Pivot podcast.
On those days you don't play as much as you want to, or throughout the whole experience, what did you take from that as a lesson moving forward?
To be honest, that was tough because this is my second time in the Olympics. And, we went in 2020, 2021, we was in Tokyo. and my experience was totally different. Like, you know, I was the second leading scorer behind KD, and we beat France. We ended up winning a gold medal. So, you know, this year in 2024, I was first team All-NBA, came off a championship. I was on the cover of 2K. Like, I was as high as, like, I was on top of the world. I just signed the largest contract in NBA history. So I was riding this cloud, and then I get to the Olympics and it didn't go, you know, how I wanted it. We still won, and, you know, I built some relationships and I gained some great memories from it. But the toughest part was, like, everybody was like, yo, like, I can't wait till you play the Warriors. I know you're going to, like, try to kill them, like, when you see Steve Kerr again. And it was like, yeah, but how am I feeling right now? Like, what's going to happen in the future. Like, so I felt like people didn't take into account, like, how I was, like, trying to process that in real time, because it was, I couldn't process it. I couldn't understand. I'm like, you know, being first team All-NBA it's me and four of the guys in the world. And at that time, the four of the guys was all European. So it was like I was the only American. And then you get to the Olympics and it's like, I didn't play in 2 of the games. It was hard to process. And that was the toughest part. Like, everybody worried about, can't wait till you play Steve Kerr and the Warriors. Like, no, like, you got to worry about how I'm feeling right now. Like, I'm trying to, like, that was the toughest part.
Bro, until that.
So think about this. He just explained that he made first team All-NBA. And he was the only American on first team All-NBA. It must have been Jokic, Luka, Giannis. That year it might have been SGA and Tatum. Those are all 9 USA players except for Tatum. So that means those 4 people that was on first team All-NBA is not on the USA team. The only person that made first team All-NBA that was on the USA team is Tatum. Not only did he make All-NBA, he probably made All-Defensive Team. I'm not sure. Then he won the finals that year. And this is winning the finals after he had already been to the finals 2 years prior to that, and 3 straight Eastern Conference finals. And if you look at all the seasons he's been in Boston, they've been at the top of the leaderboard as far as wins for like 5 straight. Yeah, I mean, like he's that dude, and he's reached his prime, and everything was going for him. Just signed a huge contract, first team All-NBA, in the MVP discussion. Should have won Finals MVP. Then you win the finals, and then you go straight to the Olympics, and Steve Kerr telling you, yeah, we ain't you go get some DNPs, we ain't gonna play you. Insane. He only did that. I'll let him explain it.
Point, because everybody knew it did not DNPs of an All-NBA player. You can't go sit down with Steve Kerr and ask him, bruh, put me on the court, Cole.
I always bring it back. Like, my mom did such a good job of raising me that, like, I always, like, keep it cool. I'm not going to rock the boat. I'm always going to be a professional.
And that's why people like Steve Kerr keep fucking with you. Steve Kerr might not consciously be doing this. He might be doing this unconsciously, because he might be trying to, I have to do it a certain way. Everybody can't play. And when I make a decision on who's not going to play, he's probably thinking, where am I going to get the least resistance? Because if I go and tell this guy he can't play, we might start butting heads. And then next thing you know, us butting heads is probably going to bleed into the team, and it might cause issues. Or that player that I'm butting heads with, he might be moping around so bad that it messes with the team chemistry. So he's just going to where he's going to get the least resistance, the least issues, what's going to make it easier. And he's just going to the nice guy who, by his word, said, my mama raised me so well, I ain't make no fuss about it. But the squeaky wheel usually get the oil, and a closed mouth don't get fed. So if you go let somebody play with you like that, and not say nothing, then I mean, all that talk of us trying to talk down on Steve Kerr and Kate for Tatum, he won't even speak up for himself. This is the reason why Kuminga and Tatum is getting done like this, because you're just taking it like, okay, I was raised right, so I'm not gonna do that. Sometimes you gotta raise hell. Sometimes you gotta raise hell, dog.
I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna do, because we here to win a gold medal, right? If we come up short, then all this shit was for we wasted our summer. So, I still was able to like keep that, even though I could disagree, or me and the coach not seeing eye to eye, or I'm keeping my distance. I still had the wherewithal of like, let's just, when I get in, I'm gonna do what I can with the time that they give me, and we still gonna find a way to win.
I don't know how I feel about that, dog. Like, I get it for somebody like Tyrese Halliburton, but you can't have why did I explain to me in basketball terms why I was the one who didn't fit this roster, why I couldn't get no playing time and I had this many DNPs. Like, explain to me what I did. Good and well he couldn't do it to Anthony Edwards. We talked about this in real time. Like, Anthony Edwards probably would have been like, oh, hell nah. Anthony Edwards is outspoken. Nah, we're not doing that. Hell nah. We know what Anthony about. So he couldn't. He was like, I can't sit Anthony. Because actually, if you really think about it, Tatum might have been a better option for how that roster was. He's 6'10", he's a great rebounder. They all do the same stuff. They both good on defense. I mean, like, on that roster, Edwards and Tatum was really kind of interchangeable, except Tatum was just a taller version. But he's the one that made first team. He's the one that just won the finals. So why is he the one that's getting the short end of the stick? Why not Anthony Edwards? Because Anthony Edwards got a mouthpiece. Tatum just explained, yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt. I'm gonna be easy about it because my mama raised me. There we go again. My mama raised me. My mama at that point, whatever my mom taught me would have been what I've been hanging my hat on at that moment. I would have been hanging my hat on some examples I seen from my dad. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I'm more Malcolm than Martin. He went Malcolm on him. He turned the other cheek. I'm just gonna let you do me wrong. If you slap my left cheek, I'm gonna turn it. So I'm gonna show you my right one, so you can smack that one too. Nah, I ain't doing that. Me and Steve Kerr would have had words. I would have done what Kawhi left and just left. Kawhi was like, man, I ain't even never got no gold medal, but fuck that. You got me all the way fucked up. I go rehab my daggone knee in San Diego and enjoy my summer. I'm not about to be here for the daggone memories. I came here to hoop and contribute and win gold. You want to sit me on this bench? Fuck you. Hell no. I got more super chats. Luka plays like a big guy at the Y who can only shoot threes. If Steve Kerr was Luka's size, he'll be better all the time. Tatum just because gave credit to his mother for being docile male. Pretty much. He said, my mama taught me that. She taught me how to turn the other cheek. Yeah, you can be raised well. And I love the examples my mom gave me, but it's some situations where I'll be like, nah, I gotta follow the example of some man. It won't be my mom, but you know what I mean? Kudos to him and his mom for not making him a crash out like Draymond Green. Like, I appreciate that. Don't crash out, but especially not in public. But nah, you should have been raising hell behind closed doors. Behind the scene, raising hell for sure. Not only did he win the championship, not only was he first team All-NBA, he also was the second leading scorer on the 2020 Tokyo team that Kevin Durant led to the gold. It was Durant and Tatum. They ain't had no other superstars, just Durant, Tatum. I think Draymond was the third best player. That team, they had Keldon Johnson from San Antonio on that team. Like, that team wasn't stacked at all. And they won gold, and Tatum was the second leading scorer on there with KD. So Steph ain't even been to the Olympics. That was his first time at the Olympics. Tatum had one gold. That was Edwards' first time at the Olympics. Halliburton first time at the Olympics. Tatum had one gold in the previous Olympics with KD as the second leading scorer. Just made first team all defense and just won the finals in the NBA. And he shows up and Steve Kerr telling him, you got to sit on the bench. You get what I'm saying? Like this is insane stuff. Last thing I want to talk about is Bill Belichick, man. Let's switch to football really quick. And Bill Belichick won't be a first ballot Hall of Famer, which is crazy. Like, people online is going nuts. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, he tweeted, "This is crazy." Ryan Clark, Keyshawn Johnson, everybody speaking out like, man, what in the world? Like, if he ain't a first ballot Hall of Famer, if he ain't a coach first of all, he's daggone near the best coach we ever seen in the game. He's got 2 Super Bowls with the Giants, I think, as an assistant coach, and he's got 6 with the Patriots as a head coach. 3 Coach of the Years. He's number 2 all time behind Don Shula in wins. I think Shula might got 347 wins, and Belichick got 333 wins. If he came back to coaching the league, one good season or 14 wins, he'll pass Don Shula or Tom at least. So 2 years, he can come back and coach 2 years and get the record and be the winningest coaches of all time. Right? So as far as coaches who have been, like, there's 5 coaches that have been first ballot Hall of Famers. I read the names. Landry, 2 Super Bowls, 270 wins. So that's less than Belichick. Schuler, the number 1 winningest coach with 347, 4 Coach of the Years, I think 2 Super Bowls. Hollis, 324 wins, 6 Super Bowls. Lombardi, 5 Super Bowls. And Chuck Noll, 4 Super Bowls. And then you got Bill with 333 wins. That's number 2 all time. 6 Super Bowls. 8 if you include his Super Bowls as an assistant. 3 Coach of the Years. And everything that we know about the Patriot way and what he created with all of that stuff. Great coach. Great coach. Only 5 coaches that I named, those are the only coaches that have been first ballot. And of the 50 members that sit on the committee for the Hall of Fame that make the selections, you need 40 out of those 50 to vote yes for you to be a Hall of Famer. And he didn't get 40 votes. So somewhere out there's at least 11 people on that committee that don't think that Bill Belichick deserves to be in the Hall of Fame on the first try. But all the coaches I named, they got in on the first try. You got to look at that and say, look at all these other coaches that are first ballot Hall of Fames. Is Bill on that level? And when you look at it, Bill is actually above that level. Like, Bill Belichick, not just on paper, but in reality, is probably the best coach we ever had in the NBA or in the NFL. He's probably the best. He's right there. So if those 5 coaches deserve to be first ballot, so does Bill. They took that away from him. For what reason? I mean, there's some articles written out there. One article say that they think they decided to keep him out of it because of Spygate and Deflategate. But I say to this, if you're keeping him out of the Hall of Fame on his first try, and you go let him in on his second try because you wanted to teach him a lesson, I think that's stupid and childish, first of all. And second of all, if you set that precedence that we're going to keep him out on his first try because of that reason, because there's no other reason that it could be. It can't be his resume. Like, there's literally no reason that he should not be a first ballot. The only thing I can think of is the cheating scandals. So if you're going to keep him out on the first try because of the Spygate and Deflategate, you got to keep Tom Brady out on his first try. So it's going to be real interesting to see what these members do when it's Tom Brady's turn to be up on his first try. There's absolutely no way you can keep Bill out and then give Tom a free walk into it like, you know, like ain't nothing happened. I think that's crazy. So I'm reading this Bleacher Report article. It says legendary former New England Patriots head coach Bill Belichick will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Belichick did not receive 40 out of the 50 votes needed. According to ESPN's Don Van Natta Jr. and Seth Wickersham, Belichick not receiving the votes could have something to do with Spygate and Deflategate scandals, with the topics coming up in deliberations amongst voters. So they in there talking. They meet once a year for stuff like this. And someone, according to this writer, brought up Spygate and Deflategate. One voter explained that former Buffalo Bills and Indianapolis Colts general manager Bill Polian told some voters he believed Belichick should wait a year before induction as a penance for Spygate. Polian, however, told Matt Verderam of Sports Illustrated that he didn't have any influence over the voting, added that he voted for Belichick to get in. So someone reported that Dave Polian was the one that was telling people he shouldn't get in because of Deflategate and Spygate. But when he talked to a reporter about that and it was asked, he said, that's totally and categorically untrue. I voted for him. And the guy, Matt Verderman, he went and tweeted that out as soon as he had that conversation with him. So someone saying Polian is the catalyst for it, and someone is saying Polian denied all of it. So I don't know what to think. But dang, what an injustice, man. Like, that is insane, dog. Like, that is insane that this dude can't be first ballot. Like, I mean, to be real with you, and it's kind of hard to do because these people be waiting to get in this Hall of Fame. Like, it really, like, I'm trying to think if I was a player that just seen this happen, I want to think how bad it would look if I said, like, oh, is it worth it for me to be like, well, if he can't get in on his first ballot, I'm not accepting it. And I wonder if a player did that, would he ever get an opportunity to get in again? Or would they frown upon it and be like, oh, so you're not accepting our invitation into the Hall of Fame? Okay, well, you ain't never getting in. You get what I'm saying? But I would like to see some type of protest from everyone who got selected. Like, everyone who got selected this year, I would like to see them protest and be like, y'all got it freaking wrong, and whatever y'all, like, we need some transparency. I don't understand why y'all doing this. And I wouldn't even accept it. I wouldn't even go in. But, you know, you can't suggest stuff like that because it's some people who might be on their last try. Like, they didn't get in first, second, third, whatever. And this is the last try for them to get in. So, like, it'd be hard to convince a person like that who's borderline to don't even accept it. Like this stuff mean a lot to people. Like, you know, another thing I hate is that they kept what's my man in baseball that gambled? I got his face right in my vision, but I can't even remember his name. Pete Rose. Pete Rose got caught gambling years ago. I think it was like 70s, man, but they kept him out of the Hall of Fame before that. Like, he just couldn't get in. And these writers was like, we're not letting this dude in. And I want to say his last year that he was eligible, he could get in. everybody was like, man, y'all should just let him in, dog. Like he was such a good baseball player. All he did was gamble. It's not like he was doing steroids and cheating, and the home runs don't count and the stolen bases don't count. Like this dude, he gambled. Y'all kept him out long enough, man. Let this dude get in. He's old. Let him get in. And they would have had to lift the ban because he was banned from baseball. They would have had to lift the ban in order for so two things had to happen because they couldn't select him in if he was banned from baseball. So the MLB would have had to lift the ban, and then the Hall of Fame committee would have had to give it a look to see if they want to put him in. And if I can remember correctly, and I know y'all go correct me in the comment section. So if I'm saying this wrong, please correct me because I'm not a baseball guy. If I remember correctly, they lifted the ban after he wasn't eligible for the Hall of Fame no more. Like how bad does that look? Where his last opportunity to get selected, they let that time go by, and then they lifted the ban afterwards. And then the next year he passed away. I'm like, man, come on, dog. Like baseball meant so much to that dude, and the Hall of Fame meant so much to that dude, man. And we played with that man. And all I'm saying is Bill old as hell too. Y'all don't know how much longer that dude got, man. And y'all playing with this man. Y'all playing with him like that. And like that. And what pisses me off about it is it be journalists and writers that feel like that they got like they God or something. They got God complex. Oh man, we can keep a person out. We can keep like they did T.O. They didn't let T.O. in. This dude got almost every receiver record that either T.O. got it or Jerry Rice got it. Y'all not gonna let T.O. in on first ballot? Like he had to wait 2 rounds to get in. Petty as hell. Who are these journalists, dog? Like, be real about what you're doing. They personal vendettas and stuff like that, which is the same reason why they write about Kobe in a specific way. Like, these writers are out of control, dog, for real. Like, how do they get selected to be on these committees, man? They finna put Tom and Bill at the same time. But yeah, but who cares? Who cares? They could have let Bill in and first, and then when Tom got in, Bill could have been the one who introduced him. He could have been the one to put that coat on him. I like to see that more than I like to see both of them going at the same time. Man, you don't take that opportunity away somebody like that, man. You just don't do that. What SWAT said, it doesn't make sense because those players work hard to get these player kids to live a better life. Yeah, man, it's just insane, y'all. But that's it, man. I'm gonna get some sleep, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in and sticking with it. I appreciate all the phone calls and the super chats as well. I catch y'all tomorrow, and then I catch y'all again full punt on Friday. Peace.